Hello everyone, Brave Belly here. Today on the channel, I'm going to be eating and reviewing my newest acquisition of military rations. This is from Russia. This is their individual dry ration. I've never seen anybody review this, nor is there any info about this online. So I'm curious to see what it is. I hope you guys brought your appetite because you know I did. Without further ado, let's get the show on the road. So here we have it, the individual ration for Russia. And I'm not sure if this is only available to consumers or if this is military. It's definitely military inspired. As you can see, the digi camo definitely puts me in the mood. We have that Russian star. And then I did notice some bullets. There's a bullet up, one here and one there, which is pretty cool. Probably a commercial ration. But regardless, these are very hard to come by here in the States, especially unopened by customs. So it's going to be worth it. I hope you guys are excited as I am. Basically, what I did use the Google Translate, and it says there's like canned meat in here and a bunch of dry rations. That's neither here or there because I'm going to open everything up. So buckle in. Today's knife is the Russian Kizlyar brand, from hailing out of Dagestan. Okay, this is basically the civilian version of their current issue bayonet. Check this out. It's a Butte. All right, nice and light. We got a pointed pommel over there, just in case you got to crush some skulls. Beautiful knife. And being that we don't know if this is military issue or civilian, I feel like it's perfectly fitting for today's episode. So here we go. Let's see if it opens up. Just pull apart. Nope. So you do need a knife, which is pretty cool. And I wasn't gonna do this today, but when this was delivered, I sliced it open with this knife, another Russian knife. All right, check that out. The Cougar by a brand called Knox, and this is available on Amazon. So I was opening up the box. This is so sharp. It went through the box and through the bag. All right, so it just sliced through. I was like, oh man. So I want it to be as fresh as it is, being that it expires in 2026. So this is relatively fresh for military food, and considering it's from Russia, I feel like let's give it a fair shot and give it a try. So yeah, here we go. Opening up. Gotta say, I love the camo and the military look. So if this is indeed is civilian, it's pretty cool to see that the Russian culture is indeed very military inspired. You don't see military rations that are for commercial availability here in the States. Usually they're more for like backpackers and stuff. So very colorful, orange and blue and white, as opposed to this putting me in the mood for some military stuff. All right, so this is what everything looks like. Here we have it. Let's go. So let's see. We have a coffee. Assuming perhaps this is a tea, unless it's wipes, but we're gonna open it up and see what it is. I can't read Cyrillic. I'm an American. So that's cool how it's in camouflage. I love that vibe. Then we have 2 spoons. All right. It does say something. I don't know which side is up because Cyrillic letters to me are hard to read. All right. But I don't know what that says. Hopefully somebody could translate in the comments. We have crackers. 1, 2, looks like 3. And they have seen better days. Looks like a lot of them are broken up. And they're quite substantial as far as girth. You could see that they're thick, but they are definitely broken up. So it is what it is. That usually happens with military food because it's in a bag. So yeah, it happens. Then we have something else here, some kind of mystery. I have no idea what that is. Don't you worry. We're going to open everything up. We got to treat this as a soldier on the battlefield that came across some food. He's starving. He's not going to care about translations. He's just going to try to consume as many calories as he can. Apparently, this is a chicken soup. All right, like a chicken bouillon. We'll see. Never had soup out of a Russian military ration, so looking forward to that. We have a chocolate bar. Another spoon. So far 3 spoons. Like I said, good quality. All right, you could tell just by by picking it up that it's like sizable and it's not like brittle. So that's nice. Then we have, okay, well, looks like, I think they call this tushonka or something like that. Basically, it's just beef. And you could smell the beef out of this. So it looks like this has been compromised. You know, it definitely smells like beef. So it is what it is. We're still going to heat it up, see if it's edible, and yeah, move forward. Okay, we have a big old fat packet of sugar, lots of calories. We have a tea, probably just a basic ass black tea. I'm not certain. We have probably this, if I'm going to guess, like one of them synthetic sugars. All right, like a low calorie sugar. I'm not sure. Salt, little baby salt packet. And it's cool, look, they even try to do a camo pattern. Even though it's bright green, still the vibes are cool. They're sticking to the theme, which I like. We have the famous Russian apple jam or jelly. Now this one, that's crazy because this is expires in 2026, right? But this expires in 2024. As seen on the package, so just hobbled together. So it is what it is, though. All right. Then we have a can of, looks like their chicken pate. Check that out. Looks like it's seen better days, but doesn't seem compromised. Okay, I don't get any smells out of it, so that's good. Then we have, I think this is oatmeal. Never had I had oatmeal also from Russian Rations. So looking forward to this. So this does seem commercial, but at the end of the day, I feel like most of these brands are owned by the same companies that make the military version. So this is most likely a beverage. So I'm not sure what this is. This might be mashed potatoes. That's what I think that is. All right, another big old sugar. We have a lot in here. We have the hurricane-proof matches, my favorite matches. The only drawback is these, once they light, they go out real quick. So you have to get it the timing right to make sure whatever you're lighting gets lit. All right, I always keep these in like my go bags. I do a lot of camping and preparing. I consider myself like a partisan. You know, I was never in the military, but I just like to stay ready. That's my personality, and yeah, I'm into that type of stuff. So that's why I keep those matches. We have another, who knows? We're gonna find out. Now this has like a gelatinous kind of thing to it. I think it's ketchup maybe, because I did read on the packet that there's ketchup. This is the only one that's not camoed. So random and slapped together. Just like this one, look, no camo, everything else is camo. So yeah, it has its own curiosities to it, but it is what it is. Then we have a pepper. So we have salt and pepper. We have 3 water purification tablets. So this is indeed good for military and hunters. Another like a sweet and low kind of synthetic sugar, if I'm gonna guess. And one more coffee. All right, so let's start heating this food up and see what everything's about. I feel like first let's see what's in these things right here, right? These packets, and then we'll move on to the food. Actually, the food I'm gonna start heating up now because that's gonna take the most time. So just bear with me. I have boiling hot water here, because we do want our meat to be nice and hot. All right, so we're gonna put that in here. Gonna show you guys the graphics one more time, because once I pull it out, I won't have time to read. All right, and it just heating methods. So obviously this is a commercially available product. And here we go. We're gonna put that in there and fire this puppy up. Oops. Okay. All right, that seems about right. Gonna set that off to the side and let it do its magic. All right. And let's start getting at these thingies. All right, so let's see what this is about. Now, like I said, I did use Google Translate, so I got an idea of what's in here. But honestly, because I know people are going to say, you know, why didn't I use it, et cetera, et cetera. Because honestly, it's not that serious. It's about eating the food, you know, and seeing what it's about. All right, so this is, I think, their mashed potatoes. So this is going to go well with the meat. So we're going to do that right before the meat. That's what I'm assuming it is. All right, it's very well seasoned. So it does smell like it, like almost like a bouillon. So that's confusing, but I'm gonna open all of them up and see. This is a lot of like variety, and I've never experienced this variety in a Russian ration. I've done mostly all of them. Oh, okay, so we have oatmeal. We're gonna start with oatmeal. Perfect. I've done most Russian rations. If you guys are interested in seeing the real, authentic 24-hour Russian rations, just scroll down through my videos. I have a list of MREs, and I review every single Russian one, so that's there. All right, I might have added too much water, so I'm just gonna let this thicken up a little bit. It is what it is, trial and error, guys. Bear with me. So we're gonna see what's in this one right here. Let me grab another bowl. I got 2 more bowls, but I also cheated and I threw the oatmeal into the microwave so it could thicken up. That's right, this is my channel. I do what I want, so it is what it is. All right, so nice and thick, just the way I like it. We're gonna try this in a second. We're gonna see what's in these other bowls. All right, so that's what this is. Wow, this freaking, it's like almost like stuffing or something. Crazy. I have no idea what this is. So a lot of the stuff indeed is dry food, like they said, but this could be like a soup, like a noodle soup perhaps, because it has like little pieces in it. So curious. Okay, not gonna add too much water like I did with the previous one. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a soup, a nice hearty and thick soup. Let me add a little more, because it has like the little bits of ramen in there. That's how I know. And it smells wonderful. So I do think this is more of like a premium quality of rations. At least that's what it said on the package when I translated it. It said premium beef, and yeah, so that's what I'm assuming. Like everything seems like a little slightly more decadent, if you will, more spices, more flavor. That'd be cool if this is like low-key, like an officer's ration or something like that. And I didn't even know what I had. So guys, let me know in the comments down below. But this seems awesome. We will try to kind of maintain some order and start off with breakfast, however. So let's do breakfast and let's do coffee. We'll do a coffee and tea. We'll do a coffee with the oatmeal, and then we'll do a tea with the biscuits and jelly and whatever have you. Oh, and this. The tea goes well with the pate. So let's give this a try. First bite going in. That's what it's looking like. Nice and hearty. Okay, very good. Tastes very westernized, and what I mean by that, it's just like a sweet, milky, creamy oatmeal with raisins. 10 out of 10, wouldn't change anything about it. Oh yeah, very westernized. And what I mean by that is like almost like what you get in instant oatmeal in America. This is basically exactly what it is. Wow, wouldn't change anything about that. That's great. We're gonna make some coffee. Check out the coffee. And we have 2 packets of this. And it just looks like finely ground coffee powder. That's about it. Nothing more to say. Now, I don't drink black coffee, but lately I've been trying to drink it black. For the entire week, I've been drinking black coffee to get used to it. It's healthier that way. So let me tell you what it tastes like. It tastes super strong, almost like tar. So not my favorite at all whatsoever. I'm more of a lighter coffee drinker. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, just coffee. But I would say from a 1 to a 10, this is like a 4 on its best day. All right, we do have, perhaps we have a creamer. We do have, that's the salt. Is this the creamer? I bet it is. And if it's meant for it, why not? Oh yeah, we have creamer, and it's seen better days. It's all lumpy. So we're gonna do 2 creamers and have a little Americano. All right. I think that's what they call in Europe. Yeah, what they call an Americano is when it's creamy and sweet. I don't know, because in America, there's no such thing really, to my knowledge at least. And then where is the sugar? I guess we got this big old sugar. It's gonna be too much, so. All right. Here's my little Americano. Still not dissolved the cream in there, but I have a lot of food, but I will eat all this. That's how good it is. So you guys gonna just bear with me, please. And I feel like this beef is about ready. I mean, it's been boiling up there for a minute now. Really nice. Definitely I can see why they call this like the premium. Real nice way to start your morning if you're hunting. That's for sure. Wouldn't change anything about that. Real nice. All right, let's see about this coffee. And we're gonna see about these crackers. So yeah, let's get into it. So like I was saying, I feel like I could be wrong, but I feel like these crackers look more like substantial, like they're thicker or something. So this is how they look straight up. They're nice. They're basic crackers. It would be better if they had a little salt, which they don't. Not much to say other than regular ass dry crackers. The good thing about them is they don't taste like dust. You know what I mean? Like they don't taste like they're old. So that's a plus. We're gonna have some of this pate. And I'm turning this off. I mean, that sounds hot enough. It's making a lot of noise as well. All right, so check that out. This is their chicken pate. These are always take me a second to get them open. And that's what it's looking like. Nice and creamy. Let me try it with the spoon. Really smooth. Being that it's chicken, it doesn't have that intense mineral taste, although there is some mineral flavor. So I think it might be mixed a little bit of liver with chicken. I don't know how that works, but creamy and smooth, really nice. Now this one we're gonna have with the cheese, like a real Ruski. All right, this is the brand. Even a scan bar or whatever, scan code. So definitely seems like this is commercial. Guys, let me know in the comments from Russia if you guys seen this exact same ration, if it's available in the stores, and how much it costs. All right, so yeah, now let's do a little bit. Now, I like my jelly together with the pate. I haven't had it with the chicken pate. Now, a lot of Russians that see this, have commented how like freaky this is, which is funny that they say that because I use the same terminology when I like see somebody eating something weird. So I know it's uncommon, but I don't care. It tastes good for me. That's all that matters, you know? So this is the famous apple jelly. I love it. It's really tart. Oh yeah. Real nice. So me personally, this is exactly how I'd eat it. Now, it tastes delicious. However, I do feel like the pork pate, being that it's more intense, tastes better with the jelly because the contrasts are greater. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Real nice. Just regular ass basic tea. Can't excuse me. Can't say much about that other than it just tastes like basic tea. With the sugar, I know it helps. This gives it more sweetness. Tastes nicer that way. And let's keep going with this pate and jelly. I also like the the fact that this jelly is a squeeze pack, so I feel like makes things a little bit less messy. Surprised these crackers stayed together even though they're broken up. So yeah, like I said, the pate is great. It's not as minerally in flavor, being that it's chicken. And I never thought I'd say this, but I actually prefer the more intense pork one. Yeah, for this, I feel like this one's almost too creamy. You know, it's like, it's less satisfying, if you will. But it's still good. So yeah, from a 1 to a 10, I give the chicken pate like a 7. All right, okay. So there goes that. I'm curious to see what the heck this is. What is that? Sniff test. This looks like a freaking, this could be potatoes as well. Super random. Or like a soup. Look, check that out. Some kind of soup maybe. Regardless, it seems like you add water. So let's add water. Okay. Let me clean up a little bit. And move on to the next. Oh yeah, let me add water to this mashed potatoes as well. I don't know if this is some kind of soup or what. This might be a rice soup. Those might be bits of rice. And this is the ramen. So for, I guess the first thing we'll have is, that's how Slavs usually eat. They'll have soup first. That's like the starter. And this is nice and thick, just the way I like it. All right, perhaps I could add more water, but we'll just do it this way. And you can see it's very well seasoned, very nice. Looks like little bits of ramen. We have a lot of parsley, what looks like. It looks like carrots as well. And then seems like maybe even little bits of meat. See that? Perhaps that's meat, but here we go. Let's see. Wow. It just tastes like a very hearty soup. With lots of chicken bouillon. So there's a lot of salt in here. Has a strong parsley flavor. Oh yeah. It just tastes like a high-end, top shelf, instant chicken soup, really. And the reason why I said it's high-end is it seems like there's a lot of seasoning and flavors in there. A lot of contrast, a lot of colors. Not bad at all. That's everything. Moving on. Let's see about, I think it's time for this beef. All right, beef and mashed potatoes. I think this is mashed potatoes. All right, let me flop this out. Oh yeah. Lots of juice. All right, looks rendered really nice. So take a look at that. Serious meat going on over here. Looks like I heated it up right, that's for sure. And then we have our mashed potatoes. This looks like very sizable. I could have used a bigger plate. And of course, I'm keeping all that runoff from the beef, all that liquid that's in there. That's a lot of delicious flavor. So I'm not gonna make the mashed potatoes too mushy because I'm gonna put them on top of that. Now this is definitely making my mouth water. The potatoes look relatively nice, very well seasoned. They have the little parsley flakes in there as well. So that's nice. Take a look. And it's a sizable portion too. I'm thinking, real nice. This is like a hunter style. Almost has like a little mushroom flavor. And I think that's what it is. I believe that's little like baby dehydrated mushroom, white mushrooms. If you could see those little bits in there, that's what it's tasting like. So I think what I'm gonna do is actually have this out of the bowl. I think that would make a little more sense. And this is super gelatinous. I can see the consistency already. It's like super thick and it's thickening up as we speak. So very interesting. So lots of flavors. I love that gelatinous kind of like rendered aspect of it. So here we have it. Look at this. This all came in a military style ration. Very nice. Very, very nice, I must add. All right, a little bit of this and that. First, no salt, no seasoning, no salt and pepper yet. Let's see. First bite going in. Cheers. Wow, it just falls apart. Now, what I love about these rations that are out of Russia is that it's actual food, as you can see, like stuff that you can chew on, as opposed to what's popular in the West. Like even the dehydrated stuff, when you add water, it's basically just like a slop, something that you could squeeze out of a tube. Where this is, I mean, look at that. Wow, real food. Definitely liking that experience. Really, really nice. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper in there. Maybe not the salt, because This seems like it's salted well enough, but I feel like pepper always goes good on mashed potatoes. And then let's see about this beverage as well. And I think this is freaking ketchup, guys. So we're gonna do the ketchup as well, since they gave it to us. Now this looks like a rice soup. Let me show you. It's not, it needs more water. But you see those little bits? I believe that's like beef or something. Oh, this is their little pilaf. That's what Russians call pilaf, which is rice and meat. That's what it is. One of the subscribers has told me that. So, see, I read all my comments, so thank you very much. I like learning about different cultures and, you know, yeah, just the experience. Life is too short to be eating one type of food. Politics aside, I love trying foods from all over the planet. Like I said before, food is the spice of life, all right? And variety is very important, keeps things interesting. That's why I like trying these foods. So if you're not into this because of certain political issues, that's you. That's not me. All right, this is just food. All right, so let's get back into this. We're gonna see if that is indeed ketchup, which is so random, but never experienced it, so excited about it. Guys, the mushroom flavor in the potatoes with the parsley, absolutely delicious. This goes so perfect together. Definitely feels like I'm eating something that should be eaten like a hunting cabin. Something in Siberia, you know, or deep in the woods. All right, guys, expires 2024. So funny that the package said on the outside said 2026, but the ingredients inside are 24. Oh yeah, we got ketchup, guys. I wish I have a plate. I'm gonna put some on the plate just so we can get a better look-see of what we got. Oh yeah, almost looks like a marinara sauce. Wow. Tastes nothing like American ketchup, right? Very strong on vinegar. Wow, nothing like American ketchup. American ketchup is more sweet. This is like vinegar. Almost like, I don't know if it went rancid, honestly. So it's borderline. It could be that it went bad. So I'm not gonna eat more of it. Plus, I don't feel like this goes with ketchup, if I'm gonna be honest. Maybe it's supposed to be that way, I don't know. Being brave here. It just gives it more depth, but is it better? Not really. So I'm gonna avoid this ketchup. Guys, let me know in the comments if it's supposed to taste like vinegar. I doubt it. All right, gonna eat a little bit more of this and get into that pilaf. Definitely not throwing this out. Gonna eat all of it because I just did training. This is my post-workout meal with the sweet tea like a freaking Ruski. Good stuff. Yeah, the definitely taste of a higher quality. So this is definitely a premium ration. All right, let's move on to the pilaf. So that's what I'm assuming this is. So I don't think it needs any more water. If anything, this is probably too much. But we're just gonna give it a taste, see what it's about. Take a look. This is supposed to be rice with a little bit of those bits of meat, but it tastes almost like soup. From a 1 to a 10, it's actually not bad, but it's also not delicious. From a 1 to 10, it's like a 5. If you're hungry, it's phenomenal because it's salty. It has that like bouillon flavor. You know, that's why it's so salty. The rice It's not ideal because I'd have to probably like put freshly boiled water, you know what I mean? Like super piping hot for the rice to absorb most of it. Yeah, not the best. I would say the star of the show here by far is gonna be the mashed potatoes because they have like the little bits of parsley. They have like that mushroom, white mushroom flavor, really, really nice. Alongside that beef, that tushonka, which is basically like really rendered and fatty and gelatinous and like gooey, so lots of savoriness to it together. I would say that's the star of the show. All right, let's see the quality of these wet wipes. Like I said, we have 3 of them, and the Russians always give high quality wipes, no smell whatsoever, which is nice, and it's not made out of paper, so it doesn't fall apart easy. So looks like I tried everything except the chocolate. So this is gonna be the last item. Let me wash down. So here we have it. This is their chocolate. It looks like their dark chocolate, which I'm not usually a fan of. They love eating dark chocolate, both in Europe and most of Russia. For some reason, they think it's healthier or fancier or more elegant. I don't know. I'm just never a fan of black chocolate, just not my thing. Has a good snap to it, has a nice crunch to it. It doesn't taste like cheap. Yeah, basic ass black chocolate. Not a fan. All right, overall, I'd say I'd give this ration from a 1 to a 10. I give it like a solid 8. In my opinion, it's missing cheese. It'd be nice if there's also cheese in here, so you could have the cheese with the jelly and the pate. And also, like I said earlier, I do like the pork pate a little more. It's a little more intense. Oh, let's see this beverage. One try everything. This is the last thing on the menu. This is like a fruit beverage. I don't know if it's apple or we're about to find out. Now, the Russians use sugar, big granules of sugar with flavoring. So that's why it's so hard for it to dissolve quickly. But it is what it is. The color is not the prettiest. All right, it looks like wastewater. Here in America, we use a lot of colors and dyes, which whatever. Yeah, it just tastes like a fruit. Nothing fantastic about it. From a 1 to a 10, I give it like a 5 on its best day. Just basic kind of like fruitiness. I'd really have to wait for it to dissolve. It'd probably make more sense if I put it in the bottle and shake it up. But anyway, guys, thank you if you stayed around for this long. I appreciate you watching and sticking it out to the end. Please like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, signing off.